Hi everyone, happy Saturday. Welcome back to another episode of Literally What. And let me be the first one to wish you a very Merry Christmas, because I don't know if you know, but we're in the month of November and I genuinely cannot believe that. I don't know if you guys decorate before October and November, after, if you wait till after Thanksgiving, whenever you decorate, but I will just be the one to tell you that you should start decorating for Christmas now. There's a huge debate, but I can send you a million articles proving like it's beneficial to decorate for Christmas beforehand and as early as you can, because it just makes you happier, and people that decorate earlier are happier. So if you need to convince like your boyfriend, your husband, your roommates, just literally Google like why decorating for Christmas early is a good thing, and I promise you'll have a ton of articles, and then just make a PowerPoint presentation and then just start decorating for Christmas, because I promise you it'll make you so much happier. And we are getting into the time where it gets dark at night a lot earlier, and not a fun time, and seasonal depression is a very big thing. I have it. I know a lot of my friends who have it. So we're going to do a segment. I think I'll push it to next week because we have a lot of stories today. But I've been doing a lot of research on just different ways to kind of combat it and to not let the darkness take over these next few months, because I know it can be just exhausting mentally. So we're going to try and help with that. But with that being said, decorating for Christmas is a way to help that. So just get your Christmas lights up. You know what I mean? And if you are a Scrooge and you don't decorate until like December 1st, come on. It's 2024. We're decorating for Christmas the day after Halloween, and we have 2 days of Thanksgiving. You can still celebrate Thanksgiving with Christmas decor up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't take away. It just adds to the joyfulness of Christmas decorations and Christmas time. But again, just Google articles because there's a ton out there. You're welcome. But yeah, we have so many stories today. It's always funny because some weeks there's nothing and some weeks there's a ton. I had to cut out a ton of stories because I didn't want to be sitting here talking to you guys for like 2 hours. But first thing, I know it was just Halloween. I hope everyone had a safe, fun, amazing Halloween. You have a ton of candy. But what the hell happened to people who trick-or-treat? I don't know if you guys had trick-or-treaters. We only had like a handful of people come and get candy. So now I have a huge bowl of candy that I need to throw out because I don't like candy at all. I'm not a sweets person. Give me like a bowl of bread and cheese or something. But the fact that we have this bowl just sitting on our counter, I'm like snacking on it, and I can't do that because just not good just having it sitting there. So now I have to throw out a ton of candy, or I guess I'll give it to one of my neighbors or something. But I don't know what happened. And I saw so many TikToks of people who now, you know, we're in our 20s and we kind of have our own houses now, and we're too old to be trick-or-treating, and it was on a Thursday night, so I didn't see too many people my age going out and partying. So I saw so many people who were like, we didn't really have anyone come trick-or-treat at our house, and it's so sad because, especially me growing up, I lived in a big cul-de-sac with a ton of kids my age. Like, all my best friends, I swear, are from growing up in the neighborhood. So that is like such a special time for me. We would every single year do a huge Halloween party. We would go trick-or-treat to all the houses, and there would just be tons of kids. And even like when I was too old to go trick-or-treating, there would still be a ton of kids trick-or-treating. But now I like, what's going on? And the parents of the children, why aren't you taking them trick-or-treating? So let me know if you guys had trick-or-treaters, because everyone I talked to and at my house, like, there was literally nothing, and it was so sad and so depressing. So if you're listening to this and you're a kid, go trick-or-treating next year. And if you're listening to this and you're a parent of a kid, take them trick-or-treating. Like, what? I don't understand what's going on. So let me know if any of you guys had that experience. I was so excited, and I think everyone in the world was let down. So anyway, that's all I have to say about that. But now we can go ahead and jump into our hot gossip, hot takes, stories, advice that will have you saying literally what? All right, so our first story is about Halloween costumes. We all know I love Halloween. I love costumes. I love makeup. So obviously I'm always, you know, scoping out my favorite costumes, celebrities, and also on TikTok where I saw so many amazing original costumes on TikTok, and that's like my favorite ones are the ones that are so niche that only you would really understand. So I just saw so many of my favorite ones, and we're going to talk about my favorite costumes because there were a lot of good ones this year. So obviously Heidi Klum, she does her Halloween party every single year. If I had one wish, it would probably be to get to go to her Halloween party because I just know it's probably the most amazing time, and I love her. She's the queen of Halloween. You have Mariah Carey for Christmas time, but you have Heidi Klum for Halloween, and she goes all out every single year. Do you guys remember her worm costume? Like, I can't with her. She's so funny, and I was so excited to see what she was this year, and she made us wait a long time. I kept checking her Instagram, and they would give like little sneak peeks of them doing like something to her face, like a clay molding. I didn't really know what she was going to be, but you guys, she arrived and she transformed into E.T. And she also had her husband dress up as well. But you guys, like, it is such a cool costume. I can't imagine sitting there for that long because you know that took hours and hours to do. But she looked amazing. She said one thing about her parties is she gets so upset when people leave early because she sits there in the chair getting her makeup and costume and everything on for hours, and then the people will come up and be like, okay, we're leaving, and she's like, but I worked so hard on this, like, don't leave, like, I want you to stay at my parties all night long. But she made a huge entrance, and it was her face peeking out from E.T.'s neck beneath an animatronic head. If you've seen the video, it's so cool. It blinked. It would mouth like while she was talking. And the costumes' feet were at knee level, and then they were on like an elevated stage. And so it looked like she was walking around on his like stumpy legs. It was so cool. And I think it's what makes it even cooler is she's literally a supermodel. And she comes out in these just like insane costumes, and it's just like so cool. Another one of my favorite ones of hers, I love that she does couples costumes with her husband. Did you guys see when she was the peacock and then her husband was just the egg? It's so funny. It's so good. But it was amazing. Like, so cool, so freaky seeing the eyes and mouth move, but she continues every year to just top it, and she is for sure the queen of Halloween. So some other costumes, we had Kendall and Kylie. They recreated the Lizzie McGuire iconic scene. Such a good one. Selena and Benny Blanca, they did Alice in Wonderland. So he was the Mad Hatter and she was Alice. They looked so freaking adorable. And then the Biebers, Haley was Kim Possible, and then Ron Stoppable, and then their baby was Rufus. They looked so cute. I was Kim Possible when my last year of college, because I always tried to do a redhead costume, so I was like, oh my gosh, I was her 1 year too. And then the TikTok ones, like my absolute favorite ones on TikTok, there was these two girls who did the Kevin's famous chili scene from The Office. So one girl was Kevin, the other one was like a thing of chili, and they recreated the scene, the cold open, where he's like bringing his chili, and he's like, everyone will get to know each other in the pot, and then the pot of chili, like if you haven't seen it, go see it. It's so funny. Even if you don't like The Office, which if you don't like The Office, we can't be friends, so just lie to me and tell me that you like The Office. And then this was also a niche reference, but the Harry Potter Snape, Severus Snape, Dumbledore, that one, have you seen it? Harry Potter. They recreated that. It was like a group of girls, and it was so good. Like, I just love seeing niche costumes like that. It's just so good. But yeah, there were a lot of celebrities at the Halloween party. But nothing, I mean, a lot of times it's just like such basic costumes that don't stand out. I mean, the ones that stand out are the ones that you really go above and beyond, and it's not just like the sexy costumes. It's like, that's so basic. Like, I love the costumes that are like, wow, you know, that took forever to put together and they put a lot of work into it. Like Heidi Klum. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to think if I saw anything else. I don't know. These are just the ones that stuck out. Hello, I cannot talk. But yeah, Halloween, I guess next year will be on a Friday, right? It's just so weird when it's on a Thursday. But then I think back to like when I was in college, and we would go out Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday nights, and I'm like, I don't know how I did that, because college, I look back and it was the time. I don't know how I am okay right now, because the thought of going out every night, I couldn't do it. Could not do it. Also, guys, it's almost 2025. I'm going to be 25. I can't stop thinking about it. I generally, like, I'm just going to be 23 the rest of my life, because the thing that, like, the one thing that bothers me the most about it is when you fill out forms or anything, or like surveys, it's like 18 to 24. And then it goes like 25 to 36. It's like, I don't want to be in that. Like, I want to stay in the 18 to 24 range. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, anyway, I'll get over it, but just scary. Anyways, okay, our next story is, when I saw this at 8 a.m. one morning, I was bawling my eyes out, because it was like this wave of nostalgia and just like, just like punched me in the gut. And I was just like not okay the rest of the day. But the Disney Channel gang, they all got back together for the Wizards Beyond Waverly Place premiere. So it basically just turned into this huge Disney Channel reunion. There were so many stars there, and every single one of them, they look like either the same or better. Like, they just look so good, and it just made me, like, we had it so good with Disney Channel. All these shows nowadays suck, honestly. And if I ever have kids, like, I will just be putting on the shows that I grew up watching, because there is just nothing like it. But we had Cody Lindley, who played Jake Ryan, show up. Can I just, like, he has been, like, he was always my celebrity crush forever and ever and ever, and I think that's why I married a blonde, because I just love blondes, and he was always my crush. And, like, if you saw my husband when he was, like, in high school, and, like, Jake Ryan, I always say, like, they looked pretty similar. So when he showed up there, I was, like, fangirling and dying, because I am just obsessed with him. Jason Dolly, who played PJ Duncan, he also looked literally so good. Like, I don't know what is in the Disney Channel water, but they all just look amazing. Greg Sulkin, Corbin Blue, Jason Earls, Jackson Rod Stewart. We had Rainy Rodriguez. Quinceañera salsa. Do y'all remember that meme? Oh my gosh, so funny. I would have died if freaking Debbie Ryan showed up. Oh my gosh. Anna Maria Perez, Danielle Fischel. Is that how you say it? Fischel, but who played Topanga. Haley Kiyoko, Monique Coleman. Like, just so many stars. Like, what the heck? Oh my gosh. So, and then obviously the people, I was about to say Daniel Radcliffe, David Henry, what? Selena Gomez, like, the whole cast. And my husband and I actually started watching the new show, and it's so funny, and it's also really good nostalgic, because it's just that cheesy, like, Disney Channel script where it's like these super cheesy jokes and then a laugh track, and it's like every 5 seconds of the same thing, like a line that's really cheesy and not really funny, but then there's a laugh track, and then let's just, like, the whole episode is like that. So they definitely follow the same Disney Channel, like, type of show, and it was just really good. I think we're on episode 4 or 5, because my husband loved that show growing up, and I never watched it, and then I ended up watching it later on, but that's not like my nostalgic Disney Channel show, but I was like, I'll watch it with you, because I'm there for the ride, honestly. But yeah, what a crazy time. And then they did a TikTok of the Send It On, like, Change Disney Channel song with all of them showing up the premiere, and that's when I was, like, sobbing, because I'll never get that back. And, like, people nowadays and kids will never get anything as good as Disney Channel, because everything nowadays is just not good. Sorry kids. Alrighty, our next story is about Starbucks. They are dropping the extra charge for non-dairy milk. You guys, if you go to Starbucks and you get almond milk, if you get oat milk, this is crazy. This is amazing. This is perfect. Like, thank you, Starbucks. We have been waiting for this, because I prefer, like, to get, like, an almond milk or something in my coffee, because milk just hurts my stomach a lot of the time. But it's like 80, 90, like $1.20 plus sometimes. And so it's just like, might as well just get the regular freaking milk. But they announced that starting November 7th, US and Canada stores will drop extra charges for plant-based milks, including oat, soy, almond, and coconut. And it normally adds, 70 to 80 cents to a drink's cost. And it's like, I mean, that's just crazy. So I can't believe they're actually doing this. Like, I'm shocked they're doing this, honestly. And they said the decision to drop this charge was made to benefit customers. Okay, thank you. Ooh, interesting. So the company has also been sued for the upcharge on discrimination because around 1/3 of Americans have lactose intolerance, which is a sugar found in milk. So that's very interesting. Maybe they did it because they got sued. Wow, very interesting. I think it's a really great move for them. And it's going to be weird, like ordering a drink and not paying more extra. But I want freaking cold foam for free because that is expensive, man. Oh my gosh. Alrighty, next story. Phantom of the Opera. They are coming back to North America and it's returning to the stage. Broadway's most haunting love story. They will be kicking off in Baltimore. So they're premiering at the Hippodrome Theater in November of next year. And they will have a revitalized production of the Tony Award winning musical. So we all know I love Broadway. I've never seen Phantom of the Opera and I've always wanted to see it. I think whenever my family would do trips to New York, I don't think it was playing because I think, is this the one that's been going on and off Broadway? I don't know exactly, but I love the soundtrack. I love everything about it. I've always wanted to see it. So I think this is really exciting for them and for just like the Broadway community because this is just a classic one. I feel like everyone who's a Broadway person has seen this except me. So now I need to see it. But oh my gosh, you guys, I have to brag for a second because I have the best husband ever. And talking about Broadway made me think about it. But it's our 1-year anniversary coming up next month in December. And if you know me, we got engaged in New York City. And so for our 1-year anniversary, we're going to New York again. Oh my gosh, we're going to New York literally in a month. And I'm freaking out. Like literally, he surprised me with it last night. And I'm like, if you know me, like I love New York City. It's like my favorite place on earth. And so we're going for like a week. And I'm actually like, I'm so excited. So we're seeing, I'm assuming we're going to see a couple Broadway shows, but I wish the Phantom of the Opera was playing now so I could go see it. But I'm so excited. Anyway, I had to tell someone. But yeah, I'll be there next month. So I'm already starting to plan out our outfits. I'm going to get him a whole new wardrobe. I'm going to get me a new wardrobe because obviously we live in Florida. I don't have like jackets or sweaters anymore. So we will be looking really fresh in New York because we literally have no warm clothes. So yeah. Yay. Okay, our next story. This is also a really crazy story. So GISELE, Tom Brady's ex-wife, announced that she is pregnant with her third baby with her jiu-jitsu boyfriend. And I just like, this is because she's in her 40s. So this is something that you don't really expect to happen that often. And so my first thought was, what does Tom Brady think? Because that's crazy. They already have 2 kids together. And then she was with this jiu-jitsu guy. And now she's pregnant with, like, I was in shock when I saw this headline. So apparently Tom Brady went through a roller coaster of emotions when he found out that his ex-wife and mother of his 2 children is now pregnant. Yeah, that's very crazy. So according to a source, hello? Like, my cat literally only wants attention when I'm podcasting. Okay. And I need to get a friggin' new backdrop because he loves to chew it. But he's cute, so he can do no wrong. Anyway, so a source who spoke to Page 6, the quarterback knew that things were serious between them, but he never imagined they would be having a kid together. No, seriously, because think about it. If you have already been married for a very long time, you're in your 40s, you already have kids, like, yeah, you'll probably get a boyfriend, maybe get remarried again, but like to have a kid, that's so crazy. He said it just wasn't something that was on his radar. And so he was stunned when she broke the news to him. I wish I could have been a fly in the wall when he or she told him, because that's crazy. Yeah, I just, wow. GISELE is apparently thrilled, and she told her kids and ex-husband before it broke. She's 5 to 6 months pregnant right now, and they're waiting until the birth to find out the gender. I don't think I could do that. I know so many people wait to see the gender, and another story we'll talk about today, they waited too, I think. But I just like, I couldn't do it. I want to go shopping, because if it's a girl, it's pink everything, and if it's a boy, it's going to be like animal. You know what I mean? Like, you have an idea of in your head of like themes. So like, I couldn't wait, and then you have to get everything, because then you have to buy just like gender neutral colors, right? Or like, how do you paint the nursery? I don't know. Anyway, so then, this is also really funny, because once it broke that she was having the baby on all the news sites and stuff, Tom Brady was just acting like a high school, middle school girl who just got broken up with, and he posted an Instagram story of a sunset, and it was a song playing from the Chicks cover of Fleetwood Mac's Landslide, and it said, "Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love?" Just when I saw that, it's just, that's so funny. Like, this man posting a sad Instagram story, like, you know, it's just so funny. We're all kids at heart, man. But I am happy for her. She's happy. And I mean, a new child is always an exciting, happy thing. I always forget to turn my texts off when I'm filming. I'm so popular, you guys. Just so popular. But yeah, what a crazy story. Wow. Alrighty, next story. A Game of Thrones movie is coming to the screen. So the studio has been quietly developing a film based on the fantasy universe, as HBO Max and Warner Bros. Are cross-pollinating the company's big fantasy titles. And multiple sources describe the project as a very early stage development. So there's no filmmaker, cast, or writer attached to it yet, but they're just exploring the ideas of what they're going to do with it. So the movie might represent a shift in the company's strategy. The showrunners of the original Game of Thrones series, they wanted to conclude the series with 3 feature films instead of its 2019 final season. Anyway, so I've never seen Game of Thrones. I've watched House of the Dragon, and I love that show. Game of Thrones, it's always been on my bucket list to watch. I've just never gotten around to watching it. So all I know is that fans hated the ending of the series, and I don't know what happened, because again, one day I'll get to watch it. But I just saw a lot of people saying maybe they're making this movie to kind of correct what they did wrong and make it a different ending. But this is interesting because I think it's 7 or 8 seasons. They're like really long episodes. So it'll be interesting to see what they put as far as like content and a storyline, and if it's going to be the original cast, because I feel like it would have to be the original cast or it's just not going to be as good. And yeah, just very, very interesting. Maybe this will actually make me watch the show so then I can go and watch the movie. Yeah. Very, very interesting, because 2022, they did the prequel, obviously, House of the Dragon, which is just such a good show, even though season 2 was so boring. Oh my gosh. But, yeah, I think it's a really great idea. I think fans are going to be very, very critical of it, because I know that if you watch Game of Thrones, like, you love you are Game of Thrones. So, it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I think they need to get feedback from fans. I think that would be the best case scenario. But again, I feel like filmmakers just do what they want to do. And yeah, that'll be interesting. We'll see. Okay, our next story is about Spirit Halloween, and they revealed what happens to their leftover costumes. So my husband actually took me to Spirit Halloween a couple weeks ago, and I had never been to a Spirit Halloween before. And I mean, I know they just pop up randomly, but I walked in and it was so like overwhelming. It was just crammed and jam-packed full of as many costumes and props and stuff. And there were some freaking weird costumes. And it was just like, it was fun to go, but you could tell it's like dirty and just like not, I don't know. It was a little crazy in there. So they basically have a burning question that I guess they get asked, and that is, where does all of that merchandise go when Halloween is officially over? So they said, we'll sell them next year. We have distribution centers and partners that manage the whole process. The goal is to sell as much as we can, but if we have leftover products, especially classic items like witches and pirates that don't go out of style, we'll use them next year. but they wouldn't confirm the percentage of merchandise that they sell each year. This is interesting though, because there's so many costumes that I feel like are like popular for that one year. You guys, I saw the Hawktua costume. Like, no one's buying that next year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. But there, of course, were a ton of classic things that people are every year and that will never go out of style. But there were a lot of, like, I'm trying to think of other ones. Like, there's some Fortnite ones, but, like, from OG season. And, side note, Fortnite, they came out with, I'm going to sound like a gamer nerd, but they came out with, they went back to season 2 or chapter 2. Last night was the kickoff. And they had Snoop Dogg and Ice Spice perform live in Times Square, New York City. And then it was because, like, basically when Fortnite does a new chapter or whatever, everyone will load into the game and they do, like, a live event. And so they had the concert in the Fortnite, and then they were, like, literally performing in Times Square, Snoop Dogg, for Fortnite. And I was like, I wonder how much they paid him to do that. Anyway, but it's like, there's just so many costumes that I feel like people will never buy. So what are they really doing? You know what I mean? They also said that they have a Spirit of Children program. So it's an organization where they bring costumes to different hospitals and they'll throw parties and just do different events like that, which I think is really sweet. But yeah, if you've ever been to a Spirit Halloween, there's some weird costumes, man. I don't know. Someone commented and said, as a dumpster diver, I can confirm that's a lie. They throw tons away. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we'll ever really know. I'm sure they throw a ton of them away because if I walked in and it was like very overwhelming the amount of stuff that's in there. Anyway, so if you were wondering, that's what they said. Okay. Next story is an update on the whole Liam Payne situation, which is still like, gosh. So sad. But security footage shows that Liam Payne fainted before he accidentally fell over. And again, we know there was tons of speculation about what happened. And so basically they said there was security tapes and it captured him falling and then the moments leading up to it. And it's obviously not being released to the media. Thank God, because those sickos would probably post it everywhere. But you can see that he faints, and because of where he is, he falls from the balcony. So if he had been beside his bed, he would have fallen on the bed. He didn't jump deliberately, and the footage is in the official case files. And again, when we talked about this when it happened, the police were saying that the fall happened when he was probably unconscious or semi-unconscious, and so this just kind of confirms that. So I don't know. It's like, it's hard talking about this stuff, but I'm sure like the family and everyone wanted to know what really happened, because that's just like so sad. But then they did an autopsy. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but he had pink cocaine, which is a mix of ketamine, methamphetamine, and MDMA, which I don't know what that is. And then he also had cocaine and crack. Like, he had a lot of drugs in his system. Just so sad. But they said that someone is being investigated in connection, an employee at the hotel. They said that he made a great relationship with Liam, and then they told him not to bring anything to Liam's room, but because of the relationship, he apparently got Liam what he wanted through a vehicle. So they're investigating the vehicle. But it's just so sad. This is just awful. No one ever should have to go through something like this. But anyway, that's the little update. And hopefully that gave the family, some peace. Just really sad. All right. So that got that sad story out of the way. I don't think we have any more sad ones. I should have done that like first, but anyway. Okay, our next story, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives star Whitney LEAVITT. She gave birth to her third baby. They actually dressed up really cute. They were Ursula and Ariel and King Titan and all of them. So this is I believe they waited to find out the gender of their baby. I think, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure they did. So they welcomed their baby. It is funny though, because they said, oh no, they definitely did wait. Okay, I remember. So they did an interview and she said that they were naming their baby Billy no matter what, if it was a boy or a girl. So if it was like, was it a boy or a girl? Anyway, it was either going to be Billy or Billie. But the middle name is Jean. So his name is Billie Jean, which I think is funny. But she gave birth on Wednesday, October 24th. She said, we are most excited about having our family complete. We've always wanted 3 kids, and we're so happy everyone's here now. She said, we've always waited to name our children until after meeting them, but with Billy, we fell in love with the name immediately, even before meeting him. We love the gender neutrality of the name since we weren't finding out the baby's gender until delivery, which we've never done before, and the name allowed us to feel connected to the baby without knowing the gender. Because that's another thing if you're waiting, not only the colors, but the name. So I guess if you're waiting, you can wait until after you see the baby so that you have like a boy and girl. But I don't know. Just interesting, like how people, like there's so many different ways to like deal with pregnancy. And like, you know, some people wait until they see the baby to name it. And some people name the baby like day of. Some people wait to tell people the name. Some people call it the baby's, like, you know what I mean? It's just so interesting seeing how people do it. But I'm very happy for her. Again, like, I know she gets so much hate, but like, I just can't hate her. I'm sorry. I don't hate her. And normally I'm right about these things. Like, I'm pretty good at discerning good and bad people. But I just don't get like super evil vibes from her. I don't know. You know who I don't like is Michaela. I don't like her, which I know is crazy, but I don't like her. I don't like how she seems a little sneaky and silent on social media, but is like, what is that animal where you like kind of sneak in and you just like pounce? I don't know. Anyway, I'm ready for freaking season 2 of that show. All right, next story. I don't think we ever really have any breakup stories on this podcast, but when I saw this one, I was like, this is crazy. I did not see this one coming. But Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz split after 3 years together. I thought they were so solid in Endgame, and this is crazy. And what's even crazier is they're still collaborating on this new movie together, I'm pretty sure, after their split. So they are going to be sharing the screen again after they called off their engagement. And again, they were engaged for a while too, so that's like really crazy to me. But they announced they broke up, and then right after that it was revealed that they had both been cast in the alien action movie called Alpha Gang. And they also, let me see. Oh, this is just like back in their relationship when they first started out. It's so like, I don't know, crazy. A source told US Weekly wedding plans were looming, but neither of them were rushing to the altar. Ultimately, once the project ended, I'm assuming a movie, they realized they were on different pages with what they wanted. It fizzled fast after their press tour wrapped. So I guess the movie's already out, or they're done filming, so they won't have to film anymore. But this is the thing, like, I am assuming, like, he's been married before, obviously. He has a kid with his ex-wife. Like, I'm sure he knows, like, what he would want in a marriage, and I'm glad they figured it out now and not gotten married and then had to figure it out down the road. It's just really sad because there's not a lot of celebrity couples that I'm like, oh, they're cute, or, like, that I know of, but I know of them, and, like, I think they were such a great couple. Very, like, to themselves, I feel like. And it's just kind of sad. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I didn't put this story on today, but Shaun White and Nina Dobrev got engaged, which that was crazy to me because I thought they had been engaged. Like, I thought they were either engaged or married because they just seem like, I don't know, but they just got engaged. He faked a dinner invite with Anna Wintour to propose, and they confirmed the engagement this past Wednesday. He proposed at the Golden Swan, a New York restaurant, and gave her a 5-carat diamond ring. Holy crap. So he made a fake invite for a small dinner and then sent Nina there to get to her location. And then when she arrived, he was waiting there with a photographer, and then they all went to celebrate with their friends. I love them. They met at an event in 2019, dated for 5 years, and this will be their first marriage. You don't see that very often, I feel like, in celebrity world. I feel like everyone's been married so many times when they're in a new, like, relationship with another celebrity. But I'm so happy for them. I can't believe I forgot to do that as a story, but super exciting. And I want to rewatch Vampire Diaries. Alrighty, our next story, Timothée Chalamet crashed his own lookalike contest in New York. This was so funny to me because I feel like at a lookalike, when I saw the videos and pictures, he didn't even look like there were so many people who looked more like him than he did. And it reminded me of, they did an Adele lookalike drag show. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. And she kind of had on a little bit of like drag to like, or like a fake nose or something to make her not look exactly like Adele. And she was just in line talking to the other lookalikes, and they were just like talking to her as though she wasn't even Adele. But yeah, so Timothée Chalamet made a surprise appearance at his own lookalike contest in Lower Manhattan, an event that drew hundreds of onlookers, a dispersal order from police, and at least one arrest. So what a crazy, crazy day for New York. So he posed for photos with his doppelgangers, some dressed as him and Wonka, some as his Dune character. But yeah, I mean, it's like looking at all these people, they literally look just like him. I'm sure that's probably so trippy too, to walk on and see all these guys who look just like you. I think that's just like, it's so cool of him to show up to this. Like, I feel like he's just such a cool guy. And at least one contestant was taken away in handcuffs. Police did not immediately say why. So I don't even know what happened with that. But that was the main thing that was going on, is like someone was arrested, the Timothée Chalamet lookalike. There was a $50 prize to the winner. Very interesting. Someone said, what makes a good Chalamet? It's all in the nose. All of his bone structure, really. So they got the group down to 4 people, and then the remaining contestants were asked about their French proficiency, their plans to make the world a better place, and their romantic intentions with Kylie Jenner. That's really funny. So Miles Mitchell, he won. He's a 21-year-old Staten Island resident. He dressed up in a purple Willy Wonka outfit and tossed candy to the crowd from a briefcase. Oh, he does kind of look like him. He said, I'm excited and overwhelmed. There were so many good lookalikes. It was really a toss-up. This was such a cute little story. I'm so happy he showed up. He seems just like such a down-to-earth guy. Kind of like Tom Holland. They give off the same kind of vibes. Anyway, very exciting. Okay, so we did like kind of a heartfelt story last week about the girl who made the park come to life and happen. So I want to do another one because I think it's just like, in the world and, you know, just everything going on right now, the world kind of seems like a crazy place. So I want to remind everyone listening that there are good people and innocent little children in the world who are still innocent and don't know about all the things and trials and tribulations to come to them as they get older. But I saw this story and it was just like so sweet. And that is that a boy who sold his Pokemon cards raised $19,500 to save his dog, you guys. Ugh, my heart. So Bryson, an 8-year-old, has been collecting Pokemon cards since his dad introduced them to him when he was 4 years old. He has hundreds. He's gotten them from Christmas, birthdays, holidays. His mother said his Pokemon cards are his most prized possession. But Bryson decided to sell his cherished cards to save his dog's life, a humble gesture that has rippled across the nation and raised thousands for sick pets. He said, it makes me feel happy that everybody came together. So he wanted a dog for years, and then he would cry after he left the animal shelter. Same. In March, a friend's dog had puppies, and they adopted Bruce, a now 4-month-old black lab mix. And pretty soon, Bryson and Bruce were inseparable. They literally, oh my gosh, they're so cute. They said Bruce, who was once a very playful playful puppy, suddenly wouldn't come out of his cage and began losing weight. He was diagnosed with parvo, a contagious virus that can be deadly if left untreated. They gave him self-administered vaccines, but in order to save money, or they did that to save money, but didn't realize they had to be refrigerated. So then they said it would cost $655 for the first 3 days of treatment. There could be more needed, including thousands. That's the one thing I feel like when it comes to animals, it's so damn expensive, and it's so sad because, like, even in today's society, I feel like animals now are kind of like the grandchildren in a way, and like animals are people's everything to them. Like, especially me, like my animals are everything to me. I would literally like cut off a limb for one of my dogs and cats. Me acting like I have 10 dogs, but just like in general, like animals are like part of the family, and it's so expensive. Like, oh my gosh. Anyway, so the family basically couldn't afford it, and they explained the situation to Bryson the next morning. Oh my, like I can't, my heart. He said, I'm gonna pray that he doesn't die. This is just like, a kid should not have to like be going through this at a young age. Anyway, so he came back from school and pulled out a bunch of papers, and he drew on the back of his schoolwork a stand with his Pokemon cards and said he would sell his collection to save his puppy. And his parents were like, no, we'll figure it out, blah, blah, blah. But then the next day, her husband sent a picture of Bryson seated at a table in the front yard with a wooden sign that said Pokemon for sale. She said it was heartwarming, but it hurt to see. I didn't want him to be, this to be something he had to worry about. That's my job. But seeing him be so selfless made me realize I did something right in raising him to be like this. So slowly, handfuls of neighbors went around the Pokemon card stand thinking that he was just selling it for extra pocket money. But then when they found out what it was for, word began to spread. It started out with a few neighbors, and then those people told people, and they told more people, and it kept going and going. And then there was photos on a local Facebook group. And then someone told her to set up a GoFundMe for Bryson. And so he created a page called Just a Boy Trying to Save His Dog. Oh my gosh. As the story spread, they had just tons of people coming in, online donations. Some people brought their own Pokemon card collections to have him sell. And so... crazy. He was then invited to a national dog show in November. And then an employee sent him rare Pokemon cards. Like this, such a good story. So then the GoFundMe raised more than $19,500. So then they contacted local shelters using extra money for people who needed help for their dogs as well. And then Bruce got fixed, healed, and back to normal. They say they hope that Bryson and Bruce's story serves as a warning for people to get their dogs vaccinated and to just be reminded that there's still good left in this world. I'm literally gonna cry. That is like the sweetest thing. Like, oh my gosh. I'm so happy that the dog is okay now. Anyway, that's our heartfelt story of the week. And now we can jump into our Dancing with the Stars Halloween recap. You guys, they shattered the voting record again, everyone who voted. So thank you to everyone who's voting for Dancing with the Stars. I vote every single week. My husband does too, because it's important, as we've seen. I've seen so many people online, because I guess, again, this season is getting very popular. People complaining about, good dancers are going home and this person should go home because they're the worst dancer. If you've been watching Dancing with the Stars and you're actually a fan of it and you're not just a bandwagoner, it's literally all in the votes, you guys. Like, yes, good dancers are going to go home before dancers who aren't as good as them. That's how the show is. Get over it and get off your butt and vote if you want to complain. Like, if you're not voting, you can't complain. So anyway, that's my little speech. But let's go through all the dancers. And this is my other thing to say. At the end of the day, when it comes to Dancing with the Stars, no one, what am I trying to say? Like, not everyone's going to be happy. And no matter who went home, people would be complaining. No matter who stayed, people would be complaining. It doesn't matter. Everyone's going to be complaining. So no one's going to be happy with every outcome. I guess what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but you get what I mean. All right, Alona and Alan. I love the theme. They looked really, really hot. I don't know if they kissed. It looked like they kissed. But there's also a rumor that Alan and Emma are hooking up, so I don't know what's going on with that. But it looked like they kissed. Sorry. But the harsh comments were so frustrating. Very frustrating. And it's going to get more frustrating as we get into this damn episode, because I don't know what... First of all, Carrie-Anne was definitely on drugs or alcohol or something, because I don't know what was going on with her. Now, that being said, they got all 8s. I agree... Only because, she's an amazing, I love her. She did amazing this week, but she's not the strongest dancer. You know what I mean? She's just not at the end of the day. But like, it was still a great dance. They looked like so hot and like it was so good. She was very sharp. But I agree. I would have loved to see a 9, but she's also not the best dancer of the pack. You know what I mean? Anyway, Dwight and Daniela, if I see any comment being like annoyed with them that they got this high of a score, I actually like never want to talk to you. Like, seriously, it was a story. Okay, Daniela eats the Halloween episode every single time. Like, this is her thing. So yes, I should have gotten the score. Okay, and if you don't see that, then go get your eyes checked, because seriously, you're annoying. But I'm glad they did the contemporary. It's just, her choreography is so good. Is he the best dancer in the world? No, he's a freaking like 10-foot guy, but the story that they told, and I mean, no one did it like, no one can do it like they do. Like, I'm sorry. He definitely wants this. I wanted them to stay. First 10 of the season, a 10.99. Like, it was a good, like, take apart all of his other dances. Like, yes, he's not the strongest dancer, but you guys, watch the dance again. Like, it was an amazing Halloween dance, an amazing contemporary. I'll put my microphone down. I'm sure he might be going home now because everyone wanted to see her Halloween dance, which I'm glad we did, but it might be his time, unfortunately, which he's not the strongest dancer, but I love this dance. I'm glad we got to see her choreography, and all the haters can like go away. Okay. Danny and Whitney, it was hard because I hate snakes. They're my worst fear, so I had to like close my eyes for a lot of it. But great lifts, great power. I thought his steps were like a tiny bit off, but like it was an amazing dance. He's just like such a good dancer that it's like, you know, the choreography is so amazing that like you can like, I could kind of tell a little bit, but choreography amazing, so much content. 10.99. I agree. It was so good. Like, it was amazing. Jen and Sasha, thank you, Sasha, for the choreography. I feel like his choreography for Jen just like isn't the best, but this week finally he gave her amazing choreography. It was so good. But at this point, this was when my brain was kind of like, okay, Carrie-Anne's just handing out 10s. And I think whatever she took was catching up to her, and she was just 10, 10, 10 for you, 10 for you, 10 for all. Like, what's going on? Seriously? And you could tell that like Derek and Brina were kind of getting annoyed with her, but that was wild. I think it should have been all 9s. It wasn't a 10 for me, but much better choreography. And I love them together. Okay, Joey and Jenna. I'm so pissed they didn't get a perfect score. Yeah, anyway. But you can't look at their dances and be like the amount of content and choreography is so freaking good. Like, it is so good, you guys. I love the storyline. I love that I got to see Kelsey in the little like intro. Like, this will be a dance that I will remember forever. It was just so good, so creative, so unique. But I don't know why they're so hard on him. I guess maybe because he's like one of the top, if not the top dancer, and I don't know. But I wish he got all 10s. He should have gotten all 10s. I digress. Okay, Steven and Riley. Holy crap. For me, like, I'm hard on Steven just because I can see he's always ahead of the music, and just like, I felt like he wasn't really correcting what he was doing wrong. But holy crap, he just went up for me. Like, this dance was so, so good. This was definitely a dance for his strengths. I would have loved if they got perfect 10s, but just seeing Riley's face when she got her first 10 was so sweet. This was the only dance that gave me chills, which was very interesting to me. I was like, what's going on? But I love this dance so much. Yeah, this was like definitely a turning point for him. So good. Chandler and Brandon, really good per usual. Nothing new here. Like, that's why I think it's so frustrating. It's because I say this every week. We know it's going to be amazing. We know it's going to be good. Like, there's nothing to talk about there. And I know everyone's so mad that she didn't get 3 10s. I think if Carrie-Anne gave the 10 and like Derek did a 9 and Bruno gave a 10, people wouldn't have been so mad. It's because Carrie-Anne was giving everyone 10s, and then it was clearly a 10 dance, but she had to be like, give her a 9. So it doesn't look good on her part. What I will say is, yes, they did do a waltz. So hypothetically, could she have messed up or done something because the waltz is so much more critiqued than a contemporary? 1000%. So that's why I'm like, they did do such a harder dance compared to a contemporary. So that's where I'm like, I can see where it happened, but very frustrating for everyone, I think, because it doesn't look good for Carrie Ann. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Nothing new here. Like, they can dance. Move on. All right, so then we had the paired up dances. Alona and Dwight, I don't know why. It was hard to watch both of them do this. They just both looked very uncomfortable. I like Dwight's better, and Dwight won. And I literally wrote a note of, is Carrie Ann on something? So I don't know what she was doing with this dance, but something was going on with her, clearly. And then we had Jen and Steven. So to me, like, Steven and Riley looked really clean, and Jen to me looked like she didn't really know what she was doing. Did anyone else have that thought as well? But Jen and Sasha won. I wanted Steven to win, though. I don't know why, but whenever I was watching, and again, it's hard to watch both couples at the same time, but Jen to me looked like she didn't really know what was going on. That was just me, though. Danny and Joey, they definitely planned to have the same choreography at the beginning, and that's why I'm like, they're definitely the top two dancers. And you can tell, like, they had Alona and Dwight, the bottom dancers, Jen and Steven middle, Danny and Joey top. So I liked how they did that, because they know that we know, like, the level. But they're just so good. Like, it was amazing. Joey and Jenna won. Yay. Just so good, you guys. Like, what a great episode. I forget what Tuesday is. I think it's like their 500th episode, so I think they're bringing people back. I'm gonna be interested to see what's gonna be going on with Carrie Ann, because girlfriend was not okay. But yeah, that is our episode today. I hope everyone has an amazing week. I can't believe it's November. Start decorating for Christmas, you guys. And then next week I'll have my little segment of like little tips and tricks when it starts getting darker outside, and how we can not let it get us down, okay? Because the next months are good months. All right, and that's everything. Thank you guys so much if you tuned into the whole episode. Again, make sure you're following the Instagram. If you're listening to this on Spotify, please just go up and tap 5 stars. It would mean the world to me. Apple Podcasts, I don't know what you do. I think either like it or give 5 stars would mean the world to me as well. And if you're watching me on YouTube, hi, please hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up. It'll take 2 seconds out of your day, and it really, really helps me out. But I love you guys so much. I can't wait to chat with you guys next week with some more hot gossip, hot takes, stories, and advice. I'll have you saying literally what? Bye, guys.